utilizing here, which means that Zaytech will probably be on that Punisher, not the Salak that we had seen earlier on, before being able to see the protection for the Magneto for Ego Death.
Yeah, absolutely. Here again, one or the other. Oh my gosh, they're looking towards it.
Magneto, they save Magneto and they ban Black Panther.
They're shutting down the King of Wakanda. Is this the comp? What? This is crazy. Wow, we saw the self ban.
Dude, the fact that they immediately were like, nah, we're good on that. And Madara even keep paying a little bit of homage, you know.
Bro, I was here for my whole shift at work years ago. Hey, anytime, bro, I'm always here.
Shikigami already seeing what Self could do, being on that Black Panther, and what everybody else has talked about surrounding Self as a topic. They just rather play it safe, especially for this first map.
Yeah, and as funny as that is, but that does use one of their bans up, and those bans are crucial to shut down the full team. Again, Self does play Wolverine, Human Torch. He can flex a lot, but
each teams are banning for the other team. So let's say that Emma, Black Panther, the Luna Snow that are banned, the other team cannot play those characters. And also the saves are the saves for their team. So they're saving Magneto, so the other team cannot ban Magneto.
Ban of Luna and save of Luna for Shiki.
To be honest with you, it's very confusing at first, but the more I look at it, the more I actually prefer it. It prevents mirror comps, which is boring. No one wants to watch a mirror comp, dude.
Yeah, and Ego's going to have their pick of the litter for strategists, really. I mean, maybe they save Invis here. You've got a lot kind of going for you. They could go with a Loki save as well. Again, this is why the Black Panther ban is fun, but you're leaving one of the better... Oh, they're going to go Cloak over Loki. That's going to be surprising. Yeah, they're going Cloak, okay.
Wow, okay. This is I mean, for momentum, right? Because I feel like Ego Death... In general, having momentum on Cloak and Dagger also really helped them out, just navigating through those ultimates and when to take advantage of that eternal bond. But let's get this started. We got our save and bans.
Yeah, that Terror Cape too, everybody with the ready ghost strat where everybody dives on one person.
So the blue team over there
you have that damage
saved Luna and Mag so they can play that. But the other team, which is the red team, cannot play Adam, Torch, Ultron, or Emma. And then vice versa for the other team.
There's no way. I think he's just trying to get us here. But either way, he's going to put on a good time. I mean, it could be that team up is gone, but look at the Penny Venom Spider-Man callback.
Penny Venom and Spider-Man.
Don't get my hopes up. Flipping it on me after day number 1 here, you know, after my experience and taking all the action here in the Ignite series. It's been fun to watch these swap-ups in the spawn room door 2 as we take a look at our very first map.
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't doubt them running something like this too. Like, they do want to put on a show. Once you get a little taste of the limelight, it's like, oh man, I want to do some more. And Panther not going to be that option, which I'm sure is what a lot of their game plan was around. They haven't seen that Black Panther target ban. Really, we haven't seen a ton of target bans because there is no one trick. Self is not a one trick. Obviously, he specializes in Black Panther, but the guy can play mini. As Krakoa is the stage, and it is our third matchup of today, Vicky. This is going to be a good time.
I love how you highlighted that because Envy did not ban the Black Panther whatsoever. They didn't need to at that point, while Shikigami maybe feeling like they don't want to run that risk as we already get to see some portal plays being utilized with the Punisher turret.
Oh my god, that portal play, and they got 2 kills, chat.
I just witnessed a murder. The way they just witnessed that.
They just ported on 2 people and just murdered them.
Last time we saw them, the portal to start. They want the aggression. They want the smoke, as Lawrence is showing that from the AR of Punisher. Oh my gosh, what a way to open.
It was the way that their backs were turned to the portal, like waiting for them to just walk up and feeling a little safe before they were able to just unleash the pressure, allowing Shikigami just to plant their feet on this point first.
Oh, we did it. I knew it. I knew they were going to put on a show here. Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Peter Parker
Ego Death.
Self going for the dive and the
that guy just went in there and fell over.
Mr. Stark.
Yeah, he looked...
That guy literally just went in there and fell over.
Kuno once, it just immediately got deleted. Now, Shikigami having man advantage here, just in terms of heads taking over the point right now.
That looked like me on Spider-Man. Yeah, what the hell?
From the heavens off that web.
Yeah, the thing about Spider-Man is he can come back so quickly, but my gosh, I missed that connection, unfortunately, and that's kind of how they lost against Envy. They took care of the back dive, and then it was a numbers game from there. Lawrence, though, Shiki is looking unshaken. They don't care about the, the crazy dive that we've been tuned up here. They're doing a great job showing that the stable meta show is doing the job.
You got the rest here with Lauren just putting in even more damage, getting up on the higher ground. Got the turret available to you here too. Don't even need her, gonna back away. Following up from the rest of Shikigami, and they got a plethora of ultimates here. Basically full ultimates on board for Shiki.
Yeah, I mean, they've got everything that they need. This is, again, about to be a light show. The Michael Bay special, as we like to call it.
Let's see this, chat. Let's see this.
The fastball special, though. I said this is what they like to do. The Thing and Wolverine, they play a lot of the same comps together. And look at Self, he's flying. Peter Pan up, ready to go for that back pick.
Oh, just getting into position, though. Not going to be finding anything just yet.
Yo,
just
Salad. Appreciate it. 27 months, my friend. Appreciate it. I want to see what these guys do.
Specifically, Kuna, who has just been a problem. But at least with the Luna Snow having the fate of
nice. Nice hit.
Magneto, although the Meteor, Kuna just putting themselves in the middle is going to be the one to take out.
Yeah, great ult there from Soko, but Lawrence doesn't care. He was alive, and fortunately, the storm there, Kuna was caught in the crossfire. Agamotto,
did he hit anyone? Oh, he hit one person.
We've highlighted him a lot. Can he showcase what he can do as the Sorcerer Supreme? And it's a lot of pressure early, but it looks like Ego Death could get them out. There it is. So, with the one-man show of Wolverine
ult coming in, but Kuna still, even after getting
still managed to get 2 kills at the end there.
That's fine. They're
I was about to say that looked like a wasted ult, but still 2 kills.
Happen from Ego.
Yeah, both teams using everything in the gas tank to get that fight. Obviously, you know, Shikigami trying to just get the win. Ego Death trying to get the point for the first time. Look at, they're back. First TP out. Second one ready to go. They've got the turrets online. And my gosh.
Oh my god. They actually kidnapped him and killed him. Holy shit.
Portal in a portal.
That was insane.
What? They were ready for it too. They were ready just to wait for it to happen.
Yeah, after that first one, I mean, they were like, we're not going to get caught in whatever that mess was again, as Pride is leading the charge on Loki. If he gets this Loki pick early, this would be massive. Forcing out the lanterns, that's a huge cooldown, especially just for that one elimination prevention here as Sumble diving into the thing, Self trying to get that pick early, but Kuna gets that lock on Sumble.
Yeah, these portals are literally insane, dude.
Kuna has been able to get all these entry picks first, these crucial ones at that. Madara backs away in time. Self now just keeps slicing and dicing, but Kuna, once again, the nail in the coffin, preventing Self from getting any sort of momentum. Then you got to deal with the judgment now.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't know why they're running the Thing. I think the Thing is actually a throw pick.
Yeah, those Punisher ults,
especially against a Punisher.
Conversations, and then we just saw it right there as they end the map, get the point. 100% for Shikigami. Ego Death, it was a little bit of trying to figure out their comp. They lost not only the first fight within milliseconds, but then the first point cap, and then they had a chance. There's no
the other team is not. They're not even running a Wolverine though. Oh, they're just to throw the Wolverine. Oh, I don't think that's worth it though.
It's been these Punisher Storm duos that we keep seeing even from our last series, Cozy.
Yeah, their Punisher's 2 and 5 and 0 final hits, chat. That's tough.
Perfect job, no worries. For the duelist, as Lauren's the other shout out that we gave, just showcasing why Punisher is so crazy in this badge. Absolute monster. Again, there's just been no Hella. It's all Frank. You'll love to see it. They have the Omega Hurricane to open things up there. Shikigami probably looking to do that portal right away.
I don't think they could.
Sumble going to cap though. I've seen Sumble on cap. He does a great job of getting a lot of pressure.
I just don't think that should be their whole strat.
Bond. So we're gonna see how they respond after what was not a map 1 they wanted.
That's a good point here. Coming into the second round to see the economies and how they stand.
Oh, they're running Venom and Iron Fist now.
Too, with that Meteor, Shikigami though, Kuna being on fire with Wicca, being on that Luna Snow just to give that support here temporarily, while Kuna now wraps around and has that Omega Hurricane.
Yeah, let's see if they end up using that to open up the fight. They've got everything else now ready to go too. Maybe Eternal Bond into Omega Hurricane action as we have the Eternal Bond coming out from far to open things up. Some pressure on early. Out of Canada, great job there. But we'll see if Soko is going to use this Meteorium now to shut down this dance from Wicca. And here's the eye, Vicky. And it gets a full...
Wow.
Oh my gosh. It's the cat.
Yeah, to be honest with you guys, I think this might be the death of Ego Death.
Maybe just wipe the shells off with that. The Eye of Agamotto, the Omega Hurricane.
I think this might be the death of Ego Death, bro.
Dead, literally, and Shikigami just let it unleash.
Yeah, shelter in place. I mean, that was a lot thrown at them at one. Shikigami using everything but pride. They didn't even need to use that at that point. Soko had no chance to even counter Wikazol. I mean, that was just all poetry. And Ego really's got to get things going here if they want to continue and move on and keep the dream alive. Let's see if Soko opens up.
You're right. It's not over yet. Hey, anything can happen, bro. Anything can happen.
Judgment as the defense.
That was a big first pick from Zaytex to get Kuna being that problem right now, too.
Oh, there we go. Wait, you guys were right. It's not over, bro. Hey, it's not over till it's over.
Death with the clap back. Finally get to twist this and allow themselves to take the point.
Yeah, not only that, the Control-Alt-Delete, though. They got the Meteor double elim, and then every other person just vanished, like, right after that. Really good job and patience from him. And Soko, great job just getting the team back sturdy. Self here on Iron Fist. Okay, we might see some Dragon Fury, Cheaper Town Hall. Let's see what we got.
He was on that Iron Fist too from the beginning. It looked like for the second round here. Ego Death now having to cycle through these ultimates with momentum. Gonna be able to get the copy of the God of Mischief onto the Cloak and Dagger in lieu of that Eternal Bond here. Sambo though being able to take that teleporter, just trying to keep splitting up the attention from Shikigami before going right back to the rest of his team.
And this is a Sambo that we know. He's doing a lot better job of staying alive, not completely, you know, getting complete focus, but getting that distraction, making that pressure, and most importantly, getting that space as the
well, to be honest with you, if you're at 90% for the Emma skin, with the Emma skin,
with the cleanup, now making it 3, and it's gonna go right back over Shiki.
No more cheaper time. Put that away here.
I think your time might be watched. Yeah, it might be going to the magic skin.
Get wiped as Shiki
it depends on who.
Right back without expending a lot of ultimates too. They're even about to have the Luna Snowfade of both worlds here. They have the Eye of Agamotto.
Some streamers have exclusive magic skins.
Yeah, they got plenty to combo here, and Far's gonna have to really look out whenever.
Yo, Coach Mills, I appreciate the massive raid, my friend. I hope you had a great stream.
Zaytex also Final Judgment, but again, if Pride can connect this Meteor M, it's gonna be the curtain call, at least in Krakoa here. 56, now 60%. Both were locked up as the fight commences, Vicky. Both teams won it. Who's going to get it?
Far's got the Eternal Blonde. It's going to start up everything here for Ego Death. They lost out on so far.
Come on, Ego Death. Come on, Ego Death. Oh, nice block. Nice block, bro. Protect your...
Just allowing Zaytex to keep it up, but the Eye of Agamotto has found 3 right after the Eternal Bond has gone down.
Hope you had a great stream.
The answer back from Shikigami, giving Ego Death a taste of their own medicine. Self makes a Destro swap over to the Spider-Man, but Lawrence is already done with momentum. Momentum is off the table even after using that God of Mischief, and now dancing around playing Ring Around the Rosie.
Bro, airball, bro. Airball Jordan, man.
Everybody here is Soko, and now Lawrence not only finishes him off, but finishes off Sambo.
Now, Madara there with perfection, able to not only get the insane Agamotto, because they did, you know, Ego did everything right there, but unfortunately, they didn't account for Madara with a huge Agamotto, the big shield, and the finish, and this could be it for Krakoa as Shikigami looks to hold on and eliminate Ego Death.
Oh, it's just a matter of time. Over
bro. I thought Ego Death was going to come back, man. Unfortunate.
Hey, looking on top here for game number 1.
Ego Death can win the next game, though.
There's so many storylines going on here. Again, Shikigami, new roster. They just
when you finish the magic skin, will it automatically go back to counting time for the Emma skin? Probably. I have no idea.
Match against Ego Death, and Ego Death, we said one-hit wonder potentially.
I have absolutely no idea how it works, chat. I've never had a game actually do 2 different types of drops.
But
I don't know.
Is it going to last? I'm wondering if with the lost shows of sides, if they can choose their side, if they're going to go with a Panther save to start out. But Self was on a lot of characters there, Vic.
Yeah, you also talked about it when we saw that initial ban immediately, that he does take up that extra slot, but then even trying to save, you know, the Black Panther, you have to consider, like, you won't be able to have a strategist to save then instead here, so you have to consider your backline in that moment. What is enough to give? What should you take away here? But it's a lot of these adjustments that Shiki did their homework. They knew what to expect. Self was also just shut down consistently from Kuna.
Yeah, again, hashtag Kuna Matata is going to be my you know, kind of sign call here for Shikigami. You know, I feel like Self is all the Panthers I run into ladder. You see him with the Lord Panther icon. Panther gets banned, and then it's always like, you know, Iron Fist, Spider-Man. These heroes that just have high skill ceilings, and Self wants to flex it. That map was just tough, though, to get that done. But just, I want to say solid play by everybody. Lawrence, though,
damn, dude. Yeah, to be honest with you, Ego Death kind of just had everything go unlucky for them, man.
That's just the 1-2 punch.
Yeah, the Emma skin goes to the 27th,
you know, adding that to their arsenal probably in their own respective games here. But I definitely agree. Even that meteor that we saw from Soko and everyone just gets deleted right afterwards. It was a nice retake there, but Shiki answered back in such a great way.
Yeah, that's a great point. That team fight, Ego Death did everything right. And then the Agamotto happened, Madara, and then the shield block, and it kind of unfolded from there, unfortunately. And so they've got what it takes. We've seen these teams now a couple of times. The Shikigami looking to make it now to the next match as we have Ego Death picking the mode and the map.
What rank are these guys?
Do we have more dive
probably around silver, maybe gold.
I'm excited because they also get to pick what side of the band they want to be on too. If they want to be able to have those triple bands back to back, if they're on the red team instead, is another consideration. Some teams like it. Some teams actually are fine without the triple band back to back.
These players are not really that good. I'm pretty sure anyone in chat can probably beat these guys.
Likes one or the other, but
pretty sure if we even put together like a team from chat, yeah, we just roll anyone
here for Ignite.
I'm really excited to see the next game though. I think that's going to be the highlight game. See the next game though. I think that's
Go, my children.
Oh my god, I played this game mode. Yeah, bro, I sucked ass at this game mode, bro. I've seen some of them in my silver rank lobby games. Yeah, I'm telling you, bro, these guys are not good, chat. There's 100 thieves in this tournament. I have no idea. We're gonna have to go look at who's in the upper bracket. Oh, so there you go. They're in the upper. Yeah. They're in the upper bracket finals with Envy, I'm pretty sure. Damn. I think tomorrow is the upper bracket, chat. So we're gonna watch this also tomorrow. I'm gonna try to start my stream very early tomorrow so we can also watch the full EU lobbies and then also do the whole NA again. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is my fucking jam right now, bro. Yeah, I think EU starts at 11 a.m. So I'm gonna 11 a.m. my time. So I'm gonna have to start like 10:30 chat probably. Shroud X versus Nightmare I think is gonna be a really good game. I can't wait for that. Okay, chat, you guys are on. This is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do while we're waiting for the next game. We have 2 minutes. We have 2 minutes, chat. Listen, I am 98.83% of the way there. I'm almost at level 85 fishing, chat. I'm almost there. Look at this, ready, look at that. Chat, does anyone have any money that I could get in this game? I need money. A minute and a half, chat, a minute and a half. 1 minute, chat. I think this is the only 2 songs they have. I'm pretty sure, yo, HB, I appreciate the massive prime stuff. I'm pretty sure they outsourced these songs and paid for someone to make these songs, and it probably cost them a bit of money, chat. These songs are, for a video game, these songs are actually kind of fire. Shit, I even think Luna's fucking songs are actually better than La Seraphim. No, I gotta say it. I gotta say it. It's a good song, bro, chat. It's a really good song. I like it.
Welcome back, guys, to day 5 of Ignite here in America, and everybody's refreshed, recharged, and I hope you are thirsty for more because we've got another matchup between Shikigami and
it sucks. Don't you ever disrespect K-pop again, bro. K-pop is the best.
We saw there, and I'm just thinking Shiki is playing fast and loose.
Man, Shiki is looking great. They've made some adjustments. You talk about building up that roster in real time, and they've also been able to nail down how to isolate maybe the strength, the win conditions that we have seen Ego Death put out before, even with a first-time Black Panther band that we have not seen it again.
Howling by XG slaps. Oh, I love everything XG even does.
This Shikigami roster is being formed in real time. Like, Proda was not playing.
My favorite has been Espa now. Savage by Espa.
Was not on their starting roster. Subbed in as well, I believe, and so we've got a lot of changes happening, but it is working.
And there's
and for
another
Ego
song
Death,
by Espa,
let's see
actually.
what they end up doing. They did go with the double ban up top slot again to choose defense, and we have Arakko, the newest map. Vicky, love this one.
Have you listened? Oh, Kill It by Espa.
I've had a lot of fun on this map.
I think that's why. I think. Oh my god.
Between points, actually. Especially that low hilltop one, but we get to see the save onto the Emma Frost here, looking at Shikigami.
They go Panther here. Hold on.
Wait.
Do they save the Panther? This is they there's no way they would use this on Panther. You wouldn't think. He's got Hulk locked in. No, it's not. Okay, good. I'm glad we didn't give it away. I'm glad we and who knows, they might go with the back-to-back ban so to keep the, it worked before. Why not do it again?
Oh, yeah, they're hovering over it. I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, this makes it the second time we've ever seen Black Panther banned now for a match.
Yeah, you got to take it as a tip of the cap to your performance and what they've seen. And again, it's just something that teams have not dealt with a ton, and they know that. And this would have been an insane Panther map, by the way. There's so many like corridors and halls. And in fact, when we saw Shroud X versus Nemesis on this was probably my match of the day. It's just there's so much chaos that can happen in this, and chances to retake right before overtime. But we see a Human Torch save, which is what Self is probably going to lock into.
Human Torch ban and a Human Torch
not
save.
only do you see a lot of flanking hallways that allow a lot of, this harassment onto the backline to come out, but also that verticality that I mentioned also really enable out the Flyers to have a good amount of cover to weave around too.
Yeah, absolutely here. And they've got the Luna save to end things out. So quite... I love these pick and bans. Much different than what we've seen here from other teams. As we've got our last ban, and it looks like they're going to, get rid of another support, but also strategist, but also shut down what could be the triple res potentially here as we lock in our teams for Arakko.
Okay, let's get this set up here. Shiki been putting on a performance thus far. Ego Death, though. This is a team. Unorthodox
okay, I was about to say, did the stream crash or something? Holy shit.
Yeah, and I like the approach here. I like the defense first for Ego Death. Again, loser gets to pick the map inside, and so this is definitely you got to know what you got to do, right? If you can hold them, the bar you have to beat as we head into map 2. I know Ego Death does not want to lose the Shikigami. Stay calm, cool, collected. You guys are doing great.
Penny
We've got a good one
for 23 months. I appreciate it.
We'll see if we get the same roles for everybody. I know that the Magneto last time wasn't really the master of magnetism, it was tragnetism, and we're gonna hope
that's actually really fucking sick. This map, I love this map.
Looking at
it is pretty crazy
from the Magneto and what could be different here too. I really like the aesthetics of this map as
when
well.
my first time playing on this map, it was the worst experience of my life. But actually playing this map, I love it.
When you're on the defense, you can play a lot more aggressively, working around the angles when you take a look at the spawn room doors for the attacking side.
Yeah, absolutely here. And Zaytech, I love the Iron Man play here. Iron Man, definitely haven't seen a lot of them in this tournament, but good to see them together now. And Self on that torch, so they're going to master the skies. Kuna using that hunting of the animal, what Wolverine has in store for them. And we've got the Hulk again. We've seen some Hulk on this map.
Okay.
We did the other day, Vic.
Dude, chat.
Yeah,
there are two characters that I really want to get good at, bro. That I think I want to get good at Wolverine, and I really want to get good at Loki. I think Loki is so good, bro.
That focus onto model.
Loki is so fucking good, dude.
To take control and be a
Do the
lot more
casters get access to live, or is this a 45-second delay for them
keep
too?
their wits about them and look to their six.
I'm pretty sure usually
know what's crawling about, and Kuna being the problem that Kuna
I'm pretty sure we usually watch
and
something
now
on a
being on that
delay, so
Wolverine,
there's no
it's gonna be something that Eagle Death have to consider.
All this stuff is probably happening like 3 minutes ahead of us.
It's gonna have to be their focus because Iron Man can do a lot.
Yo, what's up, Dad?
He also doesn't have a ton of survivability, and so if Self and him are not on the same targets locked in, we've seen it before, and oh my gosh, just like that Kuna from the skies, kidnaps Iron Man, takes them down and gone before I can finish my statement as Lauren seals the deal.
Lawrence is ready. Frame one follows right there too, because they didn't even have enough time to call in the Amber Alert to report it in, and then we get to try
Holy
to
shit,
witness
they just
it again.
talk about
Kuna then
Amber
goes
Alert.
right
Oh
back to the
God.
rest of the team just to be able to reset here too. Self still being the problem though. The torch is up in the sky just to help keep up more of that aggression.
You can't do too much of this gamma beam because it just leaves you so ready for open fire, but they do have that maximum
Make sure
pulse,
you
which
eat
is
dinner,
a great
Dad.
time to Wicca's ultimate, and Zaytech getting that good payback on Kuna from kidnapping him from the sky earlier, now just putting the overdrive to use and the maximum gamma beam, and we're not gamma beam, the maximum beam here though, as they put the pressure back on and push Shikigami back.
I mean, the way that they're just pushing them back with all that damage up, but you would think it is, right? Because now Lawrence is going to be able to come out with the rest of Shikigami with that Omega Hurricane, I was about to say, just to cut them off and give Shiki the space. But then you got to think about the pulse. Nice way to kite away to avoid getting hit by that, because that would have been instant KO.
Really good escape, and I like the potential there, but now they don't have it for Wicca's ult. That was great use for Lawrence, even though they didn't get anything done with it. They did waste the Iron Man ult. Obviously, you can get it back pretty quickly here, but both teams pretty locked in on how much ult they can use here in terms of economy. Ego Death has everything they have at their disposal ready for this fight.
Man, they're running a Hulk, but no Namor, man. That's sad to see, bro.
To really utilize that eternal bond with now, this is going to help enable Shikigami once they use it, but it's Eagle Death for momentum that uses it first here. Shiki will have Wicca and that Luna Snow ultimate here with the fate of both worlds, and at the same time the psionic seduction and the
what was that guy aiming
Soko's
at,
gonna be able to get restabilized with the invisible boundary. Does it land in first here too as Kuna makes the swap up after getting taken out.
Bummer for Soko. They're unable to get that connection, and Shiki's just playing all gas here. There's so much aggression as they push in here with the Monster Hulk. You never want to see this coming at you when your strategist might be more scary than what we saw in Energy earlier with the Wolverine hunting, as now the DPS are cleaning up, and Lauren's getting that Cat 2 now 3.
Bro, Shikigami is rolling Ego Death, chat.
Just clearing everybody out.
Oh man, I don't want Ego Death to lose, man. It just sucks to see this happen, man.
As I mentioned, making the swap over to the Hela and was immediately able to get a pick off of Sambo.
But Shikigami is making the whole work.
When the time is right, we see this from a lot of teams, so quickly go to a hero just for a quick
I normally never see Hulk without Namor.
As well,
this is
use what you get in ult charge up, as Kuna is going to stay there, locked on Hela, and it's going to help with Zaytex.
Oh, you know why he might be on Hulk? Because if the other guy has an ult chat, he might be able to he could bubble his whole team from dying. Usually Magneto can only bubble someone else, right?
As quickly as possible.
Without being able to get Data both worlds rather quickly here. Sambo up on high ground, still looking behind. Pride being right there too. Right around the corner though is Kuna, looking for the run back though. Forcing Sambo to just navigate away, but not only that's that, just trying to find an opening here before getting that dive. Lawrence gets that first pick onto Zaytex, and then the freeze, trying to get away. Sambo gets deleted in the progress, and it is staggering through, just looking at the progress here, right here from Ego Death.
Yeah, we kind of seen this, right? This has been stagger from this team that happens when you play dive, and some are playing a lot cleaner and a great map awareness, but unfortunately a little too late as we now have the Eternal Bond setting things up. Lawrence going in from the sky, the Omega Hurricane coming down. Can we get a limb? But no, here comes Soko. Can he redeem himself? It does not
I'm seeing
connect,
these
Vicky.
mags miss so many ults, bro. I don't know how I feel about that.
From that meteor too, and now then the attempt from the Iron Man ultimate earlier on before the swap we saw up. It's
I don't know,
up
man.
Here once
Ego.
again for Shikigami. Kuna being on this Hela though is the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, God, Hela just doesn't. She doesn't team fight. She hosts funerals. I mean, just fantastic play. And
she doesn't
now
team fight. She hosts
that Hela v
funerals.
Hela. This is a callback to MRI a little bit. We haven't had a lot of Hela action outside of the Lin.
Go easy on your mags and ranked then.
But this will be fun as we see the goddess.
I never get mad at my teammates. The only time I get frustrated if I call for a bubble. If I'm like, hey, I'm ulting as Punisher. Hey, do you have a bubble? Yes, I do. And then I pop my ult, trusting him because he said he does, and then I die. And he doesn't bubble me.
Does have that supernova.
Yeah, the supernova is going to be huge here for not only the pressure and the space, but should be able to clean up a lot because they're going to kind of be stuck under this bridge. They know that, though. They're spaced out accordingly. Love the way Lawrence is kind of playing protector over the two strategists in the back line. Bar is staying tight there and trying to get something going as we have Monster Hulk, though, Bride jumping in and going for some elims, but they immediately just get him down. Great job there.
Yeah, Self being able to target that too. Zaytek also having that goddess of death, but it's about clearing out, being on the bottom end of this bridge first. Nice way for Ego Death to take these different positionings here. Pride is on the way back too with the rest of
Shikigami. How do you
Shikigami,
keep your sanity when you get cubed and no brains?
Sambo trying to hide Venom's giant body behind that little
you just gotta
pillar. Gotta love it. Gotta do
you
what
just
you
gotta
can do.
You just gotta go again, man.
You know, sometimes all it takes is one team fight to get everything back on track. We'll see if this was it for Ego Death. But look at this.
Boba has been sweeping right here.
Chased down, but he flips the script on Kuna, taking her down. That was huge.
That was a great 1v1 to take here too, and the follow-up as well, being able to be found from Momentum onto Lawrence this time too, so it's a trade from both angles.
Yeah,
Lawrence coming
Boba
back
has been
with
so
that
sweet.
Omega Hurricane
Boba has
too,
been at my side the whole day, but when it comes to nighttime,
just to be able to close
Boba
in that
sleeps
gap
on
here,
Emily,
but Sambo's still holding on to
which
that
I don't
ultimate, just waiting
understand.
for that opportunity.
Yeah, just whatever Q is about to be ready for this fight. And again, it's going to be like a Marvel crossover event. We're going to see if every ultimate gets dropped at the same time here as Pride going on the point, trying to get that space over early. Self still has that supernova. He can use it, get that pressure, but there we go. We got the Goddess of Death going up.
Damn.
Trying to get an
I hate when I pop my ult as Hela and then the whole other team just like zones you out.
That was a great call up from Shiki because tracking those ultimates, knowing the Goddess of Death was available for Ego Death to utilize before, now transitioning through the building. Omega Hurricane, the invisible boundary, the meteor now coming in, finds Kuna instead. No need to deal
there
with
you go.
Omega
At least he finally got someone with the ult.
Being able to wrap around with Momentum, who had put down that Eternal Bond in the form of Cloak and Dagger. Now Martyr with the Psionic Seduction, just trying to force Ego Death off from that high ground. But they're playing so split up. It's kind of staggering Shiki to really realize here.
Yeah, the time has just dissipated here. And Soko, great job with that connection. It's like Curry from the three-point line. You get one, you can start getting them all as he gets that connection going. Now, Monterey is going to get two, though. This should give him enough to get that space. 8 seconds right in time, but this is going to go into overtime. And
that was a good hold by Ego Death right there for a while.
Corner, and
What's
they
up?
should have even potentially two
What's up?
fights
To the
that
mic?
they can take if you are going to be Ego Death. Can they do it, Vicky?
Depends on this whole economy here. I'm thinking Lawrence, who was trying to get that Omega Hurricane, but is caught out first from Soko. Then you have to think about the Emma Frost here from Modern, who's just trying to hold the front line together. With Wicca going down, though, losing both of your strategies. Shikigami are losing heads faster than Ego Death, rolling out to put a stop to everything here as they hold their defense.
Luna Snow, more like the losing show with Self there. Great job and a good pick there. I mean, that was really what had the momentum going. They got both strategists and they stopped him right there. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes it takes that one win of the team fight to kind of get momentum back in your direction, and they did just that.
It's even better when the first pick you get is onto the one player that is closest to that ult, and I don't believe Ego Death had any strategist ult to deal with that in that moment of that run. So, and you know how quickly Storm gets that Omega Hurricane, especially when you have that Goddess booth really helping you out and finding those marks. So even better first pick right there too for Ego Death to isolate.
great point. Crucial fight in the neutral right there. Nobody having anything really, to be able to work up ult-wise. They just both extinguish all of them. And then you've got Self into the snowball from there. Those neutral fights can do so much for aiding the results. And we see Self here coming back to form, 17K on Torch with 5. And if you look across the board, everybody doing a fantastic job on the side of Ego Death, but also Shiki. I mean, look at Lawrence on thing.
I gotta move my
switch
keyboard
around
now
to
because
some,
he wants to play with
characters, but great job there.
He likes to play with my monitor, bro.
We saw
because
Lawrence doing a really good job making the swaps that they needed to do.
I have a cat in front of me
1.2.
scratching at my
Seeing
monitor.
what we're going to roll out, though, looking at Ego Death, you want to be able to ride out with this momentum, especially after letting Sambo rock on that Venom.
Yeah, a triple Vanguard into triple Strategist for Shikigami here on defense. Locked in, and look at him.
Can you guys see him scratching the monitor?
Ready for a quick, diamond form kick to the face. We're going to get it right away. We'll have to see. Soko is being kind of pushed back. They were not. Shiki is so aggressive, Vicky. I love it.
Literally, like, throwing hands in the spawn room doors, and then you have to worry about getting command grab from Madara into Pride, having those brute walls available just to help follow up and deal even more damage that you got to think about. That's also blocking out the strategist and their own line of sight and preventing you from getting reset here too. Ego Death now coming out though, and with Self being on this torch still, putting in a good amount of that pressure, trying to negate that from Madara, who is still holding in the front lane.
Huge pick there on the Groot. They did use that rocket respawn there. Again, they've got the triple Vanguard into all this support. So they're trying to get these ults up, and then they can hold the line. But Self looking to get that pressure on early. We do have a rocket ult, and look at that hiding behind the box. Great job to prevent them from being able to burn it down. Love the placement there.
I really like Arakko for reasons like this too. You know how
you guys have
be
like
right out
a
of the
cat
gates,
and
but you
then
have
like
so much to just kite around as well.
Take your phone and then put like a video of buds on it, and then watch the cat like try to like smash them all.
Having that god
I feel like that's what I should do.
Sambo 2 with the clobbering time as well as Far now coming in with the invisible boundary.
Yeah, now Ego Death has everything they need. They use a clobber time to slam down, and that's going to force out the Luna. And right now we've got the momentum having, okay, this
spawn hold is actually insane. The fact that they're still spawn camping them for a minute and a half is insane, bro. They're wasting so much time at their spawn.
Dance off here, and now the other ults follow. They trickle in together. The difference is Ego Death having momentum, having that Loki. They use up those fans and help up the sustainability, and Self following up is able to get
have a Bengal as well.
Picks here. Ego
She's now becoming friends with him. Come here.
No more Dragonism, right? As I said, I mean, I think that once you hit
finally
one, you get
got
the
out of spawn chat. They finally got out of spawn
did a good job there getting that rocket
2 minutes.
out of there, and Self did exactly what they did last time, just followed up on it. Fantastic job there. Again, Kuna though going over to Hella now. Keep the switch, and Lawrence on
Noodle's starting to like Boba. They
the
played this morning for a little bit. I got a video of it.
Really Sambo, who really felt himself after that clobbering time. He's slowly approaching again before he made the swap now over to the Venom, at least to get to this second, or rather this first checkpoint, but getting around that second corner rather. Lawrence as well in disguise, being on this Iron Man. This is a great position to hold too. You have that low to high ground that you could play very split.
Yeah, we have Zaytex now with the Punisher trying to counter that Iron Man, and there's the Supernova. Someone's got to get that fire extinguisher, and there it comes right on time as Wicca is able to keep the team alive, copying Pros Luna and getting that bid. Both Worlds has Coachella out there, but once again, we have Ego Death matching the dance show, and it's just 12 seconds of invincibility.
And Lawrence was out of the range of the fate of both Worlds once it was used up for Shiki, so they also lose out on Pride, who was about to have that strangling prison gear too. Then you have Self that just keeps holding forward and finding even more of these picks together with Zaytex.
Only 1 minute left, and that's all they will need as they cleanse point. This is a tough one to get to.
I am really surprised
come in last second and win it
got
in
out of
terms
that
of
spawn
nemesis.
hold.
So great job.
And they still managed to cap first point. That's
aggressive, a little bit angry, Vicky, after that first loss.
I don't blame them.
Oh, nice,
it's about making a statement
You're
here.
licking your ass and your pee-pee on my mouse pad.
Looking to make a statement. Self right up on this high ground with some help.
That.
Together here with Soko.
You're 2 months
to be able to
old.
fight for
You
this high
shouldn't be
ground is
doing
important
that.
too, because you get to split their attention without giving up too much positioning when you still have that convoy moving forward.
Yeah, again, I really like Torch on this map. He can really just maneuver and use the whole terrain to his advantage. We have ults ready for all of them outside of momentum, and a couple on Wicca using those Luna Snow ults earlier. Oh, can they get the pick? And barely surviving is Lawrence, and here comes the Berserker. But Kuna instead gets traded momentum with the finish, Vicky.
Momentum being on this Loki has made a lot of difference here for Ego Death, I feel like. Not only being able to shut down the attempt from Kuna right there being on the Wolverine, but now making space. Zaytex to follow up. Afterwards, Self is being enabled. Soko having that Meteor also to go, as well as Sumble in case Sumble needs to reset their health.
Yeah, and Zaytex really just heating up as well. I mean, honestly, when they are on it, Self and him together can go crazy. We're seeing that right now with Frank as he pumps out the shotgun, creating that pressure in space. 2 minutes on the clock. They already got up the hill. That's the hardest part, Vicky. And there's not a lot left in the tank. They're going into immediate invisible boundaries here. Lawrence does have that ult. Will he use it right here?
Frank with the shotgun just backing away. No maximum pulse. You get shut down by Sumble. The Meteor then coming up next, and Zaytex finding Madara. That's 2 off the table for Shiki. Pride, though, just stalling for as long as possible, and then immediately got booted out. No longer the Bruce Banner standing on top of the field. Currently, this is just all momentum in favor for Ego Death.
They're playing angry, and again, just the ult tracking for both these teams have been phenomenal. I mean, Soko was ready to do
Ego
that
Death
the
managed to get all the way to
Tony
second
Stark
phase.
whisper a word. Great job there as they're able to clean up a tough part of the point, and this is it. They can get it 1-1. They're playing angry. Let's see if it pays off for them. They've got to win this first bit, and they've got the ults to do so in terms of economy.
They're already moving up here, too, on the high ground. They're trying to deny this space from Shikigami here, and looking at ult economy, being able to have that fate of both worlds is going to come in clutch, because then you have to worry about Zaytex having that final judgment here, as well as Self with the Supernova. But who do you prioritize here, as Supernova is the first to come out? Broda then activates the fate of both worlds, which means they have to really rely on Wicca to get this invisible boundary here to just deal with Zaytex and the judgment.
The Supernova just does so much on its own. Oh my gosh, he sets up the splash. They just does so much on its own. You have to respond to it. He used the ultimate. I mean, right now,
Ego Death, come on, win this, bro. Make it 1-1.
Clear once again. Only so much time. They got 2 minutes left. And of course, Sumble playing on point. Zaytex Self. They're locked in.
They are looking so good. And you know, from Shikigami's side, Wicca was so close to that invisible boundary, too. Just looking at what Ego Death had came out with that Supernova. And Ego Death have so much to answer to. Omega Hurricane now coming in from Kuna, but the final judgment coming into from Zaytex. Can't really even show your face. You'll get burned almost immediately here, too. Got a mission back. Look like we're trying to follow up here from that, as momentum now coming in lieu of the invisible, and with the invisible boundary.
Oh my god, Shikigami actually lost.
Together find more Shikigami's heads.
Just absolute perfect play.
Ego Death after the was getting spawn camp for 2 minutes at their spawn, and they managed to win.
Marvel Rivals Ignite to the literal sense
and capped all the way with 1 minute remaining.
Now make this a 1-1.
Dude, that was crazy looking here.
That is crazy. This is the first game to actually in NA to go to map 3.
The way that they were able to turn that around, while Shikigami being able to have a lot more of that momentum on their side after their domination for Krakoa, to then turn that around here, looking back around to
they managed to make the what do you call it, the Venom work. He went 29-4. 9 final hits.
Momentum, it was just put a stop to it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I can see them all with
I think the DPS popped off, that's why.
Just like angry playing.
43,000 damage, chat. 37-4 and 35.
And again, Sumble promised me a show. They just put one on Arakko. Now, 42,000 damage, 14 elims for Self. Yeah, enemies are getting barbecued. That's medium rare.
You can try to ban the Black Panther, but Human Torch on Arakko goes crazy here, as displayed too. Even with some quick swap ups from Shikigami, their attack looking a little, shaky. They definitely had their moments of momentum. It was really that second point that they had to fight through, truly. But then once they were the ones on the defense, it was so difficult to even hold the second checkpoint. Whereas Ego Death, on the other hand, they held it really nicely when they were on the defense. They held that much more split positioning that forced Shikigami to look like chameleons looking at 2 different angles at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see a lot of teams push with those triple Vanguard comps off the spawn room because you get, so many more times to be able to hold that first point, but they really only got that second time, and the staggers happen, and their team swapping and the character switching. They went, in fact, I think Shiki switched 3-4 times at one point, and so they kind of felt like ego on the Dom map, where they just didn't have an identity for what they wanted to do on defense after what was the locked-in triple Vanguard and strategist play.
That's a really good point. It did look like just not only being able to find out what they wanted to stick to here, but then not able to take care of the problems, man. That dive from Self, even right there, once the end of the Fate of Both Worlds was activated, was insane. Not only the damage output coming out of Ego Death on their attack was fantastic, but even on their defense, holding the position that they did was great.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if control was an art, I think Soko with Magneto just made a masterpiece with what he was able to do defensively, and again, the patience that he was able to have. Across the board, really the big separation there was, I think, the duelists stepped it up massively. I mean, I'm not saying they were non-existent map one, but it almost felt like that, and then that was the Self and Zatex show, and they kind of bounce off each other. Don't you see that? Like, it's one does well, and the other one just folds with it, and of course, the rivals, obviously, if you getting wiped, you can't solo or anything, but they kind of this deadly duo together. And with that, guys, we have a lot coming. It's 1-1. It's been 2-0 show, 1-1. We have a huge matchup coming between the two. Winner is going to move on. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break.
Dude, I hate stinky farts. Thanks for telling us. Emily, did you go downstairs and get some great pomegranate?
Look who just showed up.
Don't worry. I don't know. Thank you. Oh shit, we have a 5-minute break. Jack, to be honest with you, this 5-minute break, I'm gonna be eating food. Jay, why aren't you in the tournament? I didn't have a team. And yeah, I was gonna have a team. Oh my god, this is a big piece of meat. Okay, that shit is very loud. I might think about going to tournaments again, chat. I don't know. I think playing in tournaments could be fun for you guys. Also, I just want to let you guys know I hit level 85 in fishing. I think you're old and washed. Meg, I'm higher level than you in 2 games. Also, I'm taller than you. You are 2 inches taller than me. Yo, Jay Tension for 3 months. I appreciate it. I don't know if you know this, but 2 inches is a lot. Like, 2 inches is huge. Level 85 fishing in 2025 isn't really a milestone. Hey, shut up. I just made this account. Yeah, and you saying 2 inches is not 2 inches is. Can you imagine walking down the street and there was like a 2-inch diamond on the ground? You know how much that would be worth? That you're gonna tell me a 2-inch diamond isn't big? That is massive. That's massive. What if I stab you with a 2-inch blade? Like, that's crazy. Meg, answer me this. Answer me this. If you had to choose out of my two hands, this one is a 1-inch blade and this one is a 2-inch blade, which one do you want to get stabbed with? You have to be stabbed. You would take the 1-inch because 2 is huge. I'm taking a 2-incher. Yeah, chat. Can you screenshot that, please? Thank you. You just got baited. Appreciate it. Thank you, by the way. Like, if you got stabbed with a 1-inch blade, a 1-inch blade might actually not go that deep and you'll survive. 2 inches. Now that's a little scary. That's a little scary. That's where you think it gets life threatening. Post it in sub chat. What do you mean post it in sub chat? Oh, thank you. Okay, chat. Let's get back to this.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back. This is what you come here for. In Marvel Rivals Ignite are two teams with a dream, and you've got Shikigami and what they did in Domination and Ego Death with the response. And they must have heard the one-track wonder because they've got multiple tracks. They are absolutely showcasing that. But I know, Vicky, I know the viewers out there, they want to see T'Challa. They want to see some Black Panther.
I mean, I want to see some Black Panther, you know, but is it even going to snake by? I feel like Shiki's not going to let that, especially now that we finally have a map 3 on our hands, Cozy. Sabo told you that he was going to make things entertaining. Well, they are definitely making things entertaining for us. We were waiting for this moment, a 1-1 situation now taking us all the distance for game 3. I feel like now with Shiki seeing that it's not just the Black Panther, it's the torch. Also, I would like to highlight that map dependency. Really I feel like we were talking about it before going into Arakko, but I feel like that's a really good map for flyers in general. But then you could say the same thing about Kuna being on the Storm.
Oh, and another good flyer map, Central Park. This is going to be huge. Usually a lot of Johnny Storm bans here. And I got to shout out, by the way, the whole Fantastic Four. Far had 15k
like
near damage on Invisible Woman and 36k healing. I mean, that was more almost than Kuna had in damage. So just great job from Far. We'll see if we get the same play. By the way, there it is, the Black Panther ban. We can get that out of the way. No Wakanda today.
Boo. No, I'm joking. I understand really here. Yeah, I know everybody was hyped behind it, but it's completely understandable from Shikigami's point of view. This is that win condition that Ego Death likes to lean on. That's how they were able to get that first big win within the first week of the Ignite bracket. And now not going to make sure it's going to sneak by this time around. And looking on the other side, though, the triple ban on the side of Ego Death, getting rid of that Doctor Strange and that Torch.
Look at them both highlighting Torch at the same time. They know, I know this on ladder. I'm like, I'm not having no Torch. And he could just go off, and it was kind of made for him. It launched when he came out, right? So definitely a solid hero. Love the Strange ban here from Ego Death. Definitely a tough hero to play with portal-wise in this. And we know Shikigami, my gosh, do they like their portals, right? So they're just going to shut that down right away.
Wait,
the first Strange ban that I have seen, at least right now, in Ignite, I believe. So cool to see some things swap up here as Luna is saved from Shiki.
It's interesting. I think actually it's like, well, like the third one officially, if anything, but still barely anything compared to what we see between Loki, Magneto, Emma Frost. The save, though, onto the Luna Snow inside of Ego Death, and on the other side to match that from Shiki, we saw that too for their save on that Luna. Wondering what that last ban's going to be as they highlight Loki.
Yeah, no triple res, no at least Torch flying up there. Kuna definitely going to be probably locking in the Storm.
I started playing RuneScape a long time ago.
Showing Squirrel Girl, who can go crazy on this map. I don't think we're going to see her, but can
on Renegades like
wild
8-9 years ago.
Teams are ready to go.
And when my team used to do VOD reviews, I would never pay attention, and I would do I would play RuneScape.
On Loki to end it.
And then I got
doing a great job on Loki.
And then my team lost without me.
They respect that now.
It was really fun, actually.
Switching over to Cloak.
It's about catching them off guard when off the rip Self comes in with that Black Panther band, having to flex over to Iron Fist. I saw at one point the Spider-Man, and then coming out, playing for real with that torch as we get set up here. Shikigami too to reflect that, looking like they were hovering over that Punisher.
And listen, guys, again, this is the old build, not the new build, and so we do see self-showcasing Hawkeye.
Okay, chat, let's see this.
We get that Luna and Hawkeye team up that has not been changed in this patch. Now, Zaytek's very good Psylocke. We saw Tap go off earlier. We saw that on day 2, I believe, with them. So I'm excited to see if Zaytek does end up playing Psylocke. Great map for that as well, and good little dive that you can use. I think this is actually such a good dive map. Obviously, against Envy, didn't work out for them, but you know, they're not playing Envy. It's a little bit different.
Yeah, different strategy here before we get set up at the same time.
Do you got winning? I want
and I'm
Ego
gonna
Death
be able to
win.
see the Wolverine and the Thing coming in from Ego Death.
Yeah, we've got farther on Luna. Self now going to Wolverine. We're going to have that fastball special. See if Sambo throws him in, try to get Kuna from the sky. Again, I was saying Kuna Matata. There's definitely worries now with Self on Wolverine. Zaytek's trying to get an opening picking, taking the side route that could be lethal.
Ego Death
I mean, not for the rest of their days, but at least for this map specifically, if they have to wonder if they want to stay here in the tournament now. Both these teams just staying to give another chance in this Elam bracket. Currently, Zaytek's flow with the follow-up and the power, by the way, with the mental projection that Emma Frost has to allow it to try to get even more pressure in. Zaytek being able to get away. Ego Death already finding these 2 picks onto Shikigami.
Yeah, this is looking like a much different story that we saw against Envy, as now Ego Death has a very clean cap. I mean, that is beautiful. And guess what? They got rid of Doctor Strange. Shiki can portal back. So this is going to be their point. And look at them just put
Ego Death is actually showing up this game.
If you're an Ego Death fan, that's exactly what you want to see. And great job highlighting the Emma Frost and getting that team up over to Zaytek.
This is pomegranate juice.
It's about just dealing with all this onslaught of extra damage. If you could even get away in terms of what Kuda could do, can't even fly away. Zaytek just keeps up this pressure here, side by side with Self, and they have a bunch of ultimates now coming up too.
Here comes the ult right here. Yep. I mean, they don't have anything to defend this. They do have Wicca. Is Wicca going to use it at the last second? Now all their ults are coming online. So just seconds too late.
The Hail Mary coming in the very last second. The fate of both worlds just to enable Lawrence to activate that final judgment. Where are you? Salak hiding in the corner. Just a pixel. They got them out. Zaytek can't get away. Literally, if you look at Zaytek's direction, just blew up in an instant.
Beekaboo. Yeah, I mean, that was on the millisecond that all their ults came online. Whenever the Psylocke ult hit, I mean, you could not have scripted that more like a Marvel movie. We've got Infinity War unfolding before us. Love this top shot here. This is great to see where everyone's going. You can see Sample there on the top as Venom trying to get that hit, and there is the team up. We've got the Self through the walls of the Ice Arrow.
I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for the opportunity, especially around this next corner together. See if anyone gets
away. Oh, wow. They're actually playing the Hawkeye.
The Omega Hurricane online for Shiki. Getting to back away with momentum, just trying to help enable the rest of Ego Death with this eternal bond. Here comes a psionic seduction here before you try to turn around immediately afterwards. And then Kuna gets taken out. Zaytek's just been constantly there to shut down Kuna. Wicca goes down next. The backline's just getting torn apart, while the rest of Shiki are going to meet them back in the spawn.
Yeah, Madara was doing great, just pushing them with the ult, but in the backline, Sambo and friends just going off. I mean, that was a great performance from Shiki until the backline, obviously, is what you're going to need to stay up. That folded out, and it looks like Ego Death is looking strong, but here comes the Hurricane.
Oh, nice shot.
Nice shot right there, too, before the Omega Hurricane comes in to stop what? Because there's
and
nobody left to contest
5 minutes
there on the convoy. Shikigami, it's going to have to be another reset here for Kuna to jump off the map.
What's up, Uber? Welcome.
Welcome,
my friend.
Self's got multi-platinum albums. I mean, he's playing every hero in the game. He's got Hawkeye now locked in, loaded. Zaytek has yet another Dance of the Butterflies. Here it comes. We're going to get that back line. There's no strategist ult to defend this. This is going to be a momentum changer. If he can land this on the strategist, they've got to be aware. Both teams very good with the ult tracking, and Zaytek's just looking for his opportunity.
Oh, no. Oh, we've all been there. Wicca was like, I just showed up right now, and Zaytek is not letting loose. And the Butterfly's ready to go, trying to get into position right here while holding that mental projection available, just trying to isolate the Loki. Wicca about to have the God of Mischief and Proto.
That Psylocke got fucked.
To shut down Zaytek's, leave my other support alone. Ego Death, though, Far is about to have that fit of both worlds.
I don't think Zaytex was expecting to get Lawrence to grab him with a grapple hook. He was trying to get out of there. It didn't work out. There's the through the payload.
And the headshot. There you go.
With Self on Hawkeye.
Oh, what a hook, though.
Huge to shut down a Hawkeye ultimate, Vicky.
Lawrence can only do so much, though, when the rest of the team is pushing forward and Shikigami are getting torn apart. Yes, you get that one big pick, and now we get a quick swap up because Eagle Death, they could run the Doctor Strange.
Oh my gosh,
they actually touched.
39 meters, they make it barely with the Luna ult, and now we have Self trying to come back with the Strange portal, as you just said, coming in far though, finishing off the job on Kuna, and right now, Shiki's just trying to do whatever they can to stop what would be a collapse of a defense, so 3 minutes left on the clock.
But the clobbering time have found 3 and momentum.
Holy shit, I can't even eat right now. I'm just so mesmerized by this game. Wait a minute.
Earlier on in that fight here, but they have the sustainability to match that. Shikigami now coming out to
Ego Death, no fucking way.
Them out to take this cover to the finish line.
Ego Death lost the first round badly.
Like
Shikigami was looking like a very strong team, and then Shikigami came out rolling in the second game, but Ego Death just had a switch flipped ever since that spawn hold, and it just started rolling.
Poor strategist of Shikigami. They're getting one big play, but then the team folds.
Bro,
it's so hard when you have to worry about Zaytex and Self making these swap ups, whether it be the Doctor Strange at the very end.
This is insane.
The Hawkeye, from what we've seen, it's already giving the impression that Self probably has every duelist already as a Lord icon.
Yeah, right. No, Self is straight up has played every hero that I've spectated phenomenally, and that's what happens. You know, you get the Panther block. You know, you block it from the people, but then you've got Self going off on Hawkeye. And again, this was the pre-build, so you're getting that crazy team up that has been nerfed pretty heavily, actually. The spell field damage, everything about it, and they're using it to the fullest degree right here, right now. Zaytex too. I think you called it out great. They've got those echoes. They've got the Emma Frost team up to use just extra damage and to power up Zaytex, who's already insane on Psylocke.
About that burst damage there, and I really like the positioning I want to highlight from Sabo and Soko together is allowing them to get these crucial picks off the backline, whether it be Wicca being forced out to use those lanterns, which I think is also really important to highlight here, because then that enables the front line of Eagle Death to get even more aggressive.
Now Emily gave me a salad because she said I was
without
too fat.
question, and right now Shikigami has to put on an offense of the ages if they want to keep the dream alive. Again, they didn't want to go 0-2. They won a match. Now they're looking for more.
Yeah, that ban on Strange is actually really good because now they can't teleport back or teleport to the point.
That's the story, like we've seen happen with Techie happen. We'll see if Shiki can
That's a really good smart play. Yo, big boy!
Did not find an opportunity right there, so called it off. Understanding that just would have been a pickup onto Zaytex instead. Madara down closing in the distance. Pride right there being on the thing, just trying to make the magic happen alongside Madara.
Yeah, I just love watching Sabo run on the walls. It's like just the best visual possible. As Self now is trying to get that.
Also, there is no shield.
That freeze hit.
Yeah.
Ooh, does get that nice slash. And
Hawkeye gets to shoot for free.
On the strat.
Smart.
And this is the story. We've seen this over and over. Every fight starts with a scream and ends with a backline funeral.
Just pushing them all the way forward with Eagle Death now planting their feet, just shoving Shikigami back in the spawn.
I mean, it's a horror movie for the backline. They don't peel.
Yo,
they bounce.
It's
just so much to deal with all at once. Even without Panther, they can bounce with Zaytex. Self putting on that pressure early with the one-shot potential. This is exactly what you want for Ego Death. You're a fan.
You get the magic skin before the Emma skin. Because there's magic skins now.
And Ego Death have a bunch of ultimates to also try to negate through that damage, but Wicca getting picked out first. Eagle Death just keep dwindling Shikigami's time back away to get to the
I literally just go right in there.
In the neutral too, so lethal. I mean, that's going to be a massive momentum changer as now they only have Crow's ult. Obviously, Wicca going to make the way back here in just a moment. Who's going to use the ults first? It's the practice of patience. It's the neutral fight. Self does great in these. Does he get the freeze down low? I think he pops it off just right. And then who's got everything ready for that Michael Bay special?
I'm back to
circling around them. Look on the other side of the corridor. Eagle Death are trying to go in for a sandwich, but even right there through the Phantom Bullets, it's not going to be enough to keep Chiki alive here. He still finds that huge pick to right through it all here. Self is a problem, and they're trying to isolate it.
Don't forget Robin Hood. He gets some freeze through the pillar with the headshot. That was just absolute beauty. What the hell?
Yeah,
that was great. Self. Insane job there. Again, and both teams have their ultimates ready to go. A lot of that was just in the neutral with the abilities. And you know what? You might as well call that team up an ultimate, though. That's insane.
The 1-2 Scooby-Doo with the way that they're approaching this right now. Literally, partners in crimes, the way that Ego Death is now side by side here. They have a bunch of ultimates here. Same thing for Shikigami, though. I'm looking at Lawrence now with that judgment.
Absolutely insane. No scope, no mercy here as Lawrence is now putting on final judgment. You've got that combo they look for. You've got to get the win here if you're Shikigami.
Nice.
Getting that pick on Proda is going to slow things down massively, but 2 for
Doctor
Shikigami,
for 15 months. Appreciate it,
as it
my friend.
looks like that a hurricane is going to come down from Kuna.
Oh, the Omega Hurricane is going to be the nail in the coffin, but I like the way Ego Death are just trying to kite away before maybe trying to see if they can re-engage, because Self is the problem, looking to see if they can get an angle here alongside Far. He's going to back up. They're going to be able to give it to them. Just for right now, the group wall is being put up by Pride.
You must not even watch me then.
Zaytex went to Strange. I was going to call out the portal, but it was too little too late. Unfortunately, here comes the portal, but there it goes. I like the swap, and definitely a good attempt here, but Shikigami does get the point, and maybe that does turn momentum. Look at Self, just like the limb feed is insane.
Dude, if I was Proto or Wicca, it is
Yo, Marlon, thank you for watching, my friend.
Mental booms with the way that even in these neutral fights, Self is still finding these insane pickups, because it also just slightly staggers that ultimate chart too, you have to consider.
Yeah, every shot just feels personal, I'm telling you, after that first map loss here. But hey, they're doing a good job pushing right now. 2 minutes and 42 on the clock, and you've got a full Ego Death gather up
here.
Yo,
Muffin Man! I appreciate him as a prime sub as well, my
Lawrence, get that damage out fast. I like the swap for Lawrence to Psylocke, and they do have Pride to open things up with the group hog of Groot.
Nice note here, too, with Everfrost being available from both sides. Mental projection being able to be utilized from both sides. Soko first uses the psionic seduction here first, but the group walls from Pride does help alleviate more of that pressure away from Shikigami, as now together in the fate of both worlds, they move all the way up to get aggressive.
Yeah, it's the Luna show right now, and Soko is just
Gambit, they introduced new drops for select some selected streamers like me and watching the tournament and whatnot. So they introduced new drops for the tournament, and which is magic drops. And after you're done with the magic drops, your time will still go right back to the Emma drops. So basically,
to try to counter it, but sometimes it just has not worked out.
What's up, man? I appreciate it.
The Psylocke, though, trying to go invisible. Zaytex would just meet up, or it's just up on the high ground here. Looking at Sambo too, who's also just trying to run around on top of the.
I don't think the Groot's a good pick though, because Self is now on. He's on Wolverine.
First himself finds that first pick onto Pride.
Yeah, Pride has now had that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Exactly. Bro, they were using a ban to ban Black Panther and do all this stuff, but to be honest with you, Self is playing really good on a lot of other characters. So the fact that he gets other teams to ban Black Panther and he can play a variety of characters makes it really good for his team.
We're getting it right now, Vicky.
I love this from Ego Death, and that was after they had lost out on that first map. And look at this complete shift of momentum now as Madara just comes out. It's a diamond immediately. Self gets the kidnap over to the back end here too. Activates the Enrage here, just trying to swipe around, deal enough of that damage, and still trying to isolate. Fate of both worlds now activated too here as the Omega Hurricane comes out. It's the insurance policy just to enable this to have even more of an impact from Kuna.
Yeah, big elim on Zaytex there before they could ult. That was huge, and the pick early to clean things up with Kuna Matata over there, finishing up, getting the limbs on the supports in the back, and now they're able. This is what we just saw in point one. It was a struggle, and then they got things together.
They have to win this, chat. If they don't win this fight, they're fucked.
All right here, Shikigami though. Bindo break. They got 3 ults to get the job. Never sold the Gru ult. Now it's Thing. We'll see if clobbering time setup can get something going.
You have time here. Far's also about to get the fate of both worlds here. Zaytex just tries to find an opportunity through the back. They know Wicca does have that God of Missile that he just used up right now too. Trying to isolate and fight where Zaytex is. It's a fate of both worlds that is activated now. Far too. It's a dance off from both sides.
Wait, that's actually really good for Ego Death. They forced that ult. Now they. Oh my God! They did the combo.
Double off the Venom ultimate, and then Zaytex is the nail in the coffin.
Ego Death actually came back and won this game. That is fucking insane.
Right, literally the Luna I can't believe the Luna Snow to the Lucent Show, the Delusion Show, double Luna Elim right there from Sambo. Just munching.
I actually cannot believe they reverse swept that, bro.
Ego Death, who
they reverse swept that. That is wild,
They are advancing.
That team is probably, that team is really pissed.
The best counter that Sambo could have done in a moment like that where it mattered, where the countdown was all the way going down here, was perfect. Up the Venom and the Tether, and then the follow through the dance party. Fate of both worlds put a stop to it. But even better, man, Eagle Death is such a crazy
47 and 4. Soko as well, 34 and 4. The Venom went 38 and 2.
Whereas last week,
and then Self went 28 and 5. That's crazy.
But we saw the torch. We saw that Wolverine again coming in from Self, and we saw a performance from Zytex.
Yeah, I mean, Sambo only had 2 deaths there. We saw Sambo die twice within a millisecond against Envy. So what a cleanup job on this map. By the way,
Murph, I appreciate it, my friend. Thank you.
In match 2, just a phenomenal cleanup job there. Zytex too, just completely putting on a show as well with Self. Again, this duo plays together. Every single chord was striking for the perfect harmony, and Far and momentum carried great momentum even without Loki was able to get the job done easily with Cloak. There was just nothing they did wrong.